Imagine standing on the edge of a misty mountain path, the wind whispering through ancient pines, as a lone samurai sharpens his blade under the first light of dawn. This warrior isn't just preparing for battle, he's forging his mind into an unbreakable weapon. In the chaos of our modern world, endless notifications, overwhelming deadlines, and the constant pull of distractions, how often do we feel like our brains are rebelling against the hard things we need to do? Procrastination creeps in, focus scatters like autumn leaves, and discipline feels like a distant myth. But what if I told you that the ancient wisdom of the samurai, rooted in Zen philosophy and rigorous mental training, holds the key to unlocking your brain's true potential? Today, we're diving deep into the Lotus Microhabit Method, a transformative approach inspired by these warriors of old. This method isn't about brute force, it's about cultivating small, deliberate habits that bloom like a lotus from the mud of everyday struggles, helping you sharpen your focus, strengthen your memory, build unyielding discipline, and master yourself from the inside out. Let me paint a picture for you. The samurai weren't born with iron wills. They built them through daily practices drawn from Zen Buddhism and the Bushido code, the way of the warrior. Zen teaches us that the mind is like a wild horse, untamed and restless, but with patient guidance, it can be directed toward greatness. In the Edo period, samurai like Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary swordsman and author of the Book of Five Rings, emphasized mental clarity over physical strength alone. Musashi's life was a testament to turning hardship into mastery. He wandered Japan, dueling over 60 times without defeat, all while practicing meditation and introspection. Similarly, the Lotus Microhabit Method draws from this heritage, adapting ancient techniques for our fast-paced lives. The lotus flower, sacred in Zen, emerges pure and beautiful from murky waters, symbolizing how small habits can rise above mental clutter to create profound change. Why does this matter now, in a world where the average attention span has shrunk to less than that of a goldfish thanks to social media and multitasking? Our brains are wired for easy dopamine hits, not sustained effort. Hard things like learning a new skill, sticking to a fitness routine, or tackling a complex project at work feel insurmountable. But the samurai knew that true power comes from within. They trained not just their bodies but their minds through rituals that fostered resilience. The Lotus Microhabit Method is your modern bridge to this wisdom, a series of microhabits, tiny, actionable steps that rewire your brain neuron by neuron. By the end of this script, you'll have a step-by-step blueprint to implement it, drawn directly from Zen philosophy, samurai mental training, and ancient practices like mindfulness and visualization. Let's embark on this path together, warrior. To understand the Lotus Microhabit Method, we must first grasp its foundation in Zen and samurai principles. Zen philosophy, introduced to Japan in the 12th century, emphasizes mushin, no minder, state of effortless action where the ego dissolves and pure focus emerges. Samurai incorporated this into their training, using meditation to quiet the mental chatter that leads to hesitation in battle. Think of your brain as a battlefield. Distractions are the enemy arrows, and without a shield of discipline, you're vulnerable. The lotus represents enlightenment rising from suffering. Much like how microhabits transform daily grind into growth, the method itself is structured around 4 pillars, each inspired by samurai law: awakening, sharpening focus, rooting, strengthening memory, forging, building discipline, and blooming, mastering the self. These aren't grand overhauls. They're microhabits, actions so small they bypass resistance, yet compounded over time. They create seismic shifts. Research in neuroscience supports this. Habits form through repetition in the basal ganglia, the brain's habit center, and starting small reduces the activation energy needed to begin. Samurai didn't conquer in a day. They built through consistent, incremental practice. Let's start with the first pillar: awakening, sharpening your focus like a samurai's katana. In ancient times, warriors began their day with zazen, seated meditation, to center their minds. The Lotus Microhabit Method adapts this into a microhabit called the Dawn Breath Anchor. Here's how it works step by step. First, upon waking. Before checking your phone or diving into the day's chaos, sit upright in bed or on the floor for just 1 minute. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale through your mouth for 4. This isn't random. It's drawn from Zen pranayama-like practices that samurai used to regulate their autonomic nervous system, shifting from fight or flight to calm alertness. As you breathe, visualize a lotus bud in your mind's eye, slowly opening with each inhale. This anchors your attention, training your brain to resist distractions. Why 1 minute? Because microhabits thrive on feasibility. Samurai trainees started with short sessions to build tolerance, avoiding overwhelm. In modern terms, this activates the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive center for focus, while reducing activity in the default mode network responsible for mind wandering. To make it a habit, link it to an existing routine like right after your alarm sounds. Over time, extend it to 2 minutes, then 3, but always start small. Next, integrate the single task oath throughout your day. Samurai swore oaths to their lords, committing fully to one duty at a time. In your case, pick one hard task, say, writing a report, and vow to focus solely on it for 5 minutes without interruption. Set a timer if needed, but no multitasking. If your mind drifts, gently note it like a Zen monk observing a cloud and return to the task. This microhabit counters the modern myth of productivity through juggling. Studies show multitasking reduces efficiency by up to 40%. By practicing this, you're forging neural pathways for sustained attention, much like a samurai drilling sword forms until they become instinctive. To deepen this pillar, incorporate the sensory gatekeeper exercise in the evenings. Before bed, spend 2 minutes scanning your environment. Name 3 things you see. Do you hear? 1 you feel. This is inspired by samurai sentry training, where warriors heightened awareness to detect threats. In Zen, it's akin to mindfulness, grounding you in the present. This microhabit sharpens focus by training your brain to filter irrelevant stimuli, improving cognitive control. Apply it during hard tasks when procrastination hits. Pause and sensory scan to reset. Now, let's move to the second pillar, rooting, strengthening your memory. Like the deep roots of a lotus in muddy soil, samurai relied on flawless recall for strategies, poetry, and codes of honor. They drew from ancient practices like eidetic visualization, influenced by Zen's emphasis on impermanence and presence. The Lotus Microhabit Method translates this into the Memory Lotus Palace. Step 1. Choose a daily anchor object to notebook, app, or even a mental space. Each morning after your dawn breath anchor, spend 1 minute reviewing yesterday's key learnings or tasks. Visualize them as petals on a lotus. For example, if you learned a new fact at work, imagine it as a vibrant petal unfolding. This technique echoes the samurai's use of kata repetition in martial arts, where movements are memorized through vivid imagery. Why visualization? Zen teaches that the mind's eye is as powerful as the physical one. Neurologically, it engages the hippocampus, the memory hub. By associating information with spatial and emotional cues, samurai warriors memorized entire battle plans this way, turning abstract data into living stories. Step 2. Implement the echo recall microhabit during breaks. When learning something hard like a new language or skill, repeat it aloud 3 times, then close your eyes and echo it mentally while picturing the lotus root anchoring it deep. This is drawn from ancient oral traditions in samurai education, where haiku and teachings were recited to embed them in modern application. If you're studying for an exam, echo key terms. For work, recall meeting points. This builds working memory capacity, essential for hard cognitive tasks. To advance, use the chain of petals for long-term retention. At week's end, link daily recalls into a narrative chain. Visualize petals connecting into a full bloom. Samurai chronicled their journeys in journals, reinforcing memory through reflection. This microhabit combats forgetting curve Ebbinghouse's theory that we lose 50% of new info in a day by spacing repetition. Start with 3 items per day, expanding as your memory roots deepen. with focus sharpened and memory rooted. We enter the third pillar, forging building discipline like a blacksmith tempers steel. Bushido demanded unwavering discipline forged through trials like enduring cold waterfalls or marathon meditations. Zen philosophy views discipline as harmony with the universe, not punishment. The Lotus Microhabit Method's Forge Fire ritual makes this accessible. Begin with the Willow Bend Challenge. Each day, select one discomfort, skipping a snack, cold shower for 30 seconds, or delaying gratification like checking email. Samurai trained under harsh conditions to bend like willow branches in wind, flexible yet strong. Start micro, 10 seconds of discomfort, building up. This habituates your brain to dopamine from effort, not ease, rewiring the reward system. Step 2. The Oath of Increment. Commit to increasing one habit slightly daily. If exercising, add 1 rep for reading 1 page. Inspired by samurai's progressive training starting with wooden swords. Before live blades, this fosters Kaizen, continuous improvement from Zen. Neurologically, it leverages neuroplasticity where consistent challenges thicken myelin sheaths. For faster neural firing, incorporate the shadow reflection at night. Review where discipline faltered without judgment, like a Zen master observing ripples in water. Visualize correcting it tomorrow, forging mental resilience. Samurai used self-reflection to purify intentions, turning weaknesses into strengths. Finally, the fourth pillar, blooming, mastering yourself from the inside out, where all elements converge like a lotus in full flower. This is the culmination, drawing from Zen's Satori enlightenment and Samurai's ultimate goal of self-mastery. The core microhabit here is the inner dojo assembly. Once weekly, dedicate 5 minutes to integrate pillars, breathe to awaken focus, recall roots, forge. A small challenge, then visualize blooming success. Picture yourself as a samurai in a serene dojo, lotus blooming overhead, embodying mastery. Step 1. Cultivate motion flow in daily hard things. During tasks, let go of overthinking, act with no mind. Samurai entered battles this way, decisions flowing intuitively. Practice by immersing in one activity fully, like cooking or walking. Observing thoughts without attachment. Step 2. The gratitude petal pluck. End days noting 3 victories, however small, as petals plucked from your lotus. This shifts mindset from scarcity to abundance, rooted in Zen's appreciation of transience. It reinforces self-mastery by celebrating progress. To embody blooming. Engage the eternal warrior vow. Monthly, reaffirm your commitment to this path, adapting as needed. Samurai renewed vows to their code. You renew to your brain's potential daughters. We weave these pillars together. Remember, the Lotus Microhabit Method isn't a quick fix but a lifelong path. Start with one pillar, layer others gradually. Track progress in a journal, noting how focus sharpens, memory strengthens, discipline solidifies, and self-mastery blooms. In applying this to modern life, consider a busy professional. Awaken with breath to tackle emails, root memories from meetings, forge discipline by resisting distractions, and bloom through evening reflection. Or a student, focus on studies, memorize notes via visualization, build study stamina incrementally. Master exams with flow. Challenges may rise, old habits die hard, but like the lotus pushing through mud. Persistence prevails. Samurai faced defeats yet rose stronger, so can you. In closing, the ancient samurai wisdom reminds us the greatest battles are within. By embracing the Lotus Microhabit Method, you're not just making your brain do hard things, you're transforming into a modern warrior, focused, resilient, masterful. Step onto this path today and watch your mind bloom amidst the world's chaos. Honor the lotus within. The world awaits your mastery.